What's going on, guys? Today I got a double battle for you guys today. This was actually the battle spot, but I decided not to do it live because it was very late in the night and everyone was sleeping. So I knew that I had to lead out with Gengar because his only Trick Roomer was Aromatisse on his team. I'm not going to talk about team preview too much just because a lot of people, I guess, don't really like it. So I knew that he obviously had to lead out with Aromatisse. He also had a Abomasnow and Rhyperior on his team, so I was kind of worried about them as well. So I decided to bring in Amoonguss, even though he does have a Talonflame. And Amoonguss just wrecks Trick Room anyway. So I'm just going to go for the Sludge Bomb on the Aromatisse. Really surprised that it lived, because I do have Poison Barb on this Gengar as well. So he's able to go for the Trick Room. I also went for the Volt Switch on the Aromatisse, just in case the Sludge Bomb did not take it out. But he goes for the Fake Out on my Rotom. So at this point I make a bit of a misplay right here, and I actually go for the Volt Switch on the Hariyama as he goes and goes for the knockoff on the Gengar. Had he gone for the close combat on my Rotom, then that would have been really bad for me, because he does have a Talonflame and Rotom is pretty much my only answer to Talonflame other than Azumarill. But luckily for me, he does not go for the close combat on my Rotom. So I'm gonna go back out to Rotom to bait him into going for the close combat on that, so that I can switch out into Amoonguss to ensure that Azumarill is gonna be able to knock it out with a Play Rough. Even though he does go for the Reflect right here, I know that a Play Rough is going to be able to knock out his Hariyama. And that close combat does a ton of damage to this Amoonguss. I don't have max special defense EVs on this Amoonguss anymore. It does have a little bit of defensive bulk, but that still did a ton of damage. That did almost about 50%, and I resist it. So I'm able to heal up a little bit more HP as he is going to switch out into Ampharos. Now luckily for me, he is Ampharos and not Mega Ampharos, so my Amoonguss will definitely be able to outspeed. So I will be able to go for the Spore and maybe knock it out with a Play Rough from Azumarill. Well, not knock it out, but do a ton of damage, because he does have that Reflect up. And even though it is super effective, it's definitely not going to be able to take it out, because Mega Ampharos is pretty bulky. But he does go for the Protect, which is pretty amazing, because that's one more turn of Trick Room that I do not have to worry about. So at this point, I'm still pretty confident that my Amoonguss will be able to outspeed his Mega Ampharos. I believe that Mega Ampharos is base 30 HP just like Amoonguss, but at the time I wasn't really aware of that. So I know that Trick Room ends after this turn, and that he definitely needs the Aromatisse to win the game. So I decided to go for the Aqua Jet on that thing to ensure that I will be able to knock it out before anything else, as just in case he does win the speed tie with the Ampharos and hits my Azumarill before I'm able to hit his thing with Aqua Jet Aromatisse. So Trick Room does expire. I'm going to switch out into Rotom right here, because the Brave Bird is pretty obvious, and I want to be able to knock out the Ampharos, and I think Talonflame will be able to knock itself out after the Brave Bird and the Recoil, because he does have the Reflect up. The Aqua Jet didn't do as much damage as I thought it would, and he's not gonna knock himself out with Recoil, obviously. So I just go for the Play Rough right there. Fortunately for me, he does not get the one turn Wake. And he's just going to go for the Brave Bird again, but this time he's going to target my Azumarill, and that's pretty good for me, because down goes his Talonflame, so I really don't need to keep my Rotom heat anymore, because it's really not going to be that useful, just because the only reason that I really chose it is to take on his Abomasnow and take on the Talonflame, and he didn't actually bring Abomasnow in this battle this time. And luckily for him, I missed a Play Rough right there. That would have been able to knock out his Ampharos, but fortunately for me, he does stay asleep, so it doesn't really matter. That turn really didn't do anything at all, but it did make his Reflect go away, so he's going to have to set that up again. And at this point, I'm just going to repeatedly go for the Rage Powder to ensure that my Azumarill does not die to a Thunderbolt, and I could easily knock out his Aromatisse at any stage of the game, and I decided to go for the Facade over the Play Rough, because I don't want to miss Play Rough repeatedly, because I just have to hit one Play Rough, but if I miss one Play Rough, it's the same as hitting two Facade, so it really doesn't matter. I'm just going to I'm just playing around the fact that I could potentially miss 2 play roughs in a row, so I'm gonna repeatedly go for the Rage Powder to ensure that my Azumarill does not die to a Thunderbolt, because Azumarill is pretty much the only Pokemon that can really do damage to his Ampharos, because my Rotom Heat only has Thunderbolt, Will-O-Wisp, and Overheat, and that's not going to do too much damage to his Ampharos. And he tried to go for the double protect right there. I'm not too sure of why he decided to do that. I go for the Rage Powder, and he goes for the Heal Pulse, which is kind of funny because if I was if I took damage previously, then that would have pretty much put me back to full, because I did use the Rage Powder. So that was really cool. I didn't realize that interacted that well with Heal Pulse. But I'm able to knock out his Ampharos right there with a Facade, and all he has left is Aromatisse, so that's going to be a good game for me. Hope you guys enjoyed this double battle, and I'll definitely be uploading another one later today, so I'll see you guys next time. Peace.